I'm going to show you how I made this little box, and I'm going to be making several of those as well. So and of course not on camera, but I will show you how to do one, so that, and again, this is completely just kind of like a prototype deal. You may have different boxes that might not work the same with what you have, but I'm hoping this will give you some ideas of how to make things work for your situation. So what I've used is these Propel boxes. I drink the heck out of Propel right now, and I wish I had thought of it sooner, and I would have started saving my boxes earlier. So I don't have quite enough for everything I want, but as I drink more, I will create more boxes. But I have a good start. I have a pretty good start. So and this is going to be very easy. I made this one without measuring much at all. And that's the way I like to do things, without measuring. So, I'm using this because I like the depth of it. And I feel like this is going to be a good size for ephemera, most ephemera. And it's not so deep that things are going to get buried. I'll be able to look through. Of course, I don't have very many butterflies, but even if I have some more items, I should be able to shuffle through it pretty easy and look and see what I have. So I think this is a perfect size for me. So let me show you how I made the other one. First things first, I need to glue all this back down, yes? So let's do that. Now that I've put the camera up higher, am I too low? Let me look. No, I think it's still okay. All right. Because I really would rather not move the camera again. Okay. Okie dokie. So let me do all there. And then get this glued down nice and sturdy. Okay, so just pick what side you want to be. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to do it this side up. And I'm going to cut a little X. Just to kind of give me some room to get started, right? So then I'm going to continue and go make the X all the way to each corner, okay? Okay. All right. And so I had to do this last time too. These don't stay very well because they're not glued. Imagine that. So I just want to glue that real quick. Make sure that it's not wonky, make sure it's square. And you should be able to, oops. It's a little bit easier when you can reach inside and get it all in place there. Okay, so then we just cut these off, and this is actually pretty easy because on this one it's perforated. It's already perforated, but just kind of be careful, please. Anytime you use an X-Acto knife, be careful. Actually, I think it might be easier. I think I did it with a scissor. If you've got the room for a scissor, use a scissor, I say. Yeah, I think that'll work better. That's another, reason why it's nice to do the X and just get the flaps out of the way. Or get it to where you can cut. So yeah, I think that's that works better. And if you don't have an X-Acto knife, you can do the X with scissors, you know, just do that. It just may not be as sharp. But that's, you know, again, I always say where there's a will, there's a way, but this project is definitely a where there's a will, there's a way project. Because, like I said, I had something in my head, and then I didn't find the materials that I wanted. And I'm telling you what, I just said, you know what, this is happening. If it's the last thing I do, this is happening. Because I really want this this option for organizing my color-coded ephemera, and I'll be danged, I'm not going to pay. It's principle. I told you, it's a matter of principle now. So, okay. I think that should all be in place. All right. Lovely. Okay, so now pick your paper. And this, of course, this whole project is going to be, I'll be using my Breath of Spring papers from the Breath of Spring kit, journal kit. And I think it's going to be lovely. I'm really excited to see how it all turns out in the end. But here we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to eyeball it. I'm telling you, this is pretty easy to eyeball. I'm going to be doing it on the reverse side, and I'm not going to bother trimming off the white since it's going to be, I'm going to have it be kind of hiding, tucked in there. But just to kind of eyeball, make sure you see what I'm doing here. Okay, so about that much room. Okay, I'm going to measure again, just after all, a little bit. So maybe like, let me see. That's not a good ruler for that. So maybe about like 1 3/4 around the edge, I think will give us the space we need to work with what we need to do. So I'll go ahead and kind of just, again, not exact, just going to eyeball it. What I say, 1 3/4. 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. Just a loosey-goosey guide here. 1 3/4. Very loosey-goosey. So let's just make a little mark there and a little mark there. All right. Now, again, it doesn't have to be straight because it doesn't have to be. Because I said so. Is that good enough? Is that good enough because I said so? And if you definitely need to be more precise, absolutely feel free to do more exact measurements. But, you know, ironically, as perfectionistic as I can be sometimes, this is not the time that I want to be perfectionistic. So I'm just going to go with the flow here. All right. Okay. So I'm going to just draw the box roughly. Okay. Okay. So I will use my ruler to kind of help me do the folds all the way around. Kind of give myself a leg up here. Okay, so now you want to kind of cut this and fold it over. And then those and fold it over, not cut, I said cut this. That's not what I meant. Lift it, fold it over, lift it, fold it over. So I am going to cut these squares. And you could leave like a little tab on each one so that there's maybe more of a smoother transition. But let me show you what I did with this. Again, I wanted it to be very simple and easy. So I'm just going to cut the corners, which will expose some of this stuff. But I fixed that by cutting little rectangles and creating little patches kind of on the sides like this. And I really like that look. And it made it so much easier for me to not worry about those corners. I mean, if you wanted to do some cutting and miter it and maybe wrap it like a gift, I don't know. I felt, again, I felt like doing this. This is a pretty big project, and I'm wanting to be as efficient as I can with it. So I decided, for me, this was going to be the best way to do it. So again, you do you. This lighting is not, it's casting funky shadows. It's still casting a shadow. Maybe I'm just going blind. I definitely know my vision is going a little bit. I need readers now. I never used to. I'm having a hard time seeing that line. I think the shadow, I'm going to blame it on the shadows, not my vision. It can't be my vision. Now, I'm going to hang on to these because these may make good patches, possibly. Okie dokie, artichoke. Now we're going to wrap it around like a little bit of a present. Now here I will miter just a little bit. Miter the edges just a touch, but let me see. I need to see how far to go. I'll go ahead and fold it in and create that line, and then give myself a little bit of playroom here. A little bit of playroom right there, like that. Okay. Yep. I'll do that here. So, as you can see, the corners are not perfect. That one's actually pretty good, but they're not perfect, but that's okay. That's why we're going to make little patches and patch it like that, and it'll be lovely. So, time to glue this down. It looks like I cut this a little bit wonky here. Let me fix this. Shave off just a little bit here. I mean just a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. That fits better. You don't want to crowd yourself, just there needs to be a little bit of playroom. And again, like this one, there's a lot of playroom there. But we will cover that, and it'll be beautiful. So, okay. Now, I decided when I made this one not to worry about gluing all the flat sides all the big sides. I'm just gluing the tabs, and I think it's going to work just fine. If you want to glue the whole thing, that's cool too. That way you know for sure that everything is secure. But I decided not to do that. I don't think it's necessary. You certainly can, but I don't think it's necessary. So, and let me show you how to make sure that everything stays in place. So just kind of get your glue on the tab. Of course, art glitter glue is good and solid. So get that first tab down. And this is why it's good to get it all folded first. So you can just get it in place and it's, it's done. So I've got that one good and glued. Now I'm going to flip it and do this one. And as I do it, I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull it tight so that there's no bubbling, there's no gaping or anything like that. So just kind of do the, the tension thing. Just pull from the opposite end and create that tension to get it really good and tight and secure. So that's how I think you can avoid gluing every single surface on this little box here. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here. Of course, these are the only two left, so that makes sense. But we'll do this side. And when we come around to this one, just pull it really tight. All right. Looking cute already. How cute is that? It's so cute. Okay, so now what I love about this project, you can use pretty much every little scrap. So I do need to measure the depth of this. Okay, and here's a little trick. So this is just shy of 1 1/8. So I'm going to, let's say 1, okay, it's 1. I'm going to add at least, I'm going to add at least 1/8, maybe even a little bit more, maybe, a quarter. I'm sorry. See, I'm not good with measurements. Can you see what I'm doing here? It's just a little over an inch, but we're just going to call it 1 inch. And I'm going to add a quarter, if not 3/8 of, to make a strip, right? So I'm going to use the longest piece here. And we're going to wrap it around, and that extra piece is going to be on the bottom. We're going to fold the bottom. So let me get, let me see, what is this? Yeah, I've got plenty of room. I might as well just do 1 3/8. So I'm going to cut this whole strip, and we'll see how far that goes. Okay, so I'm going to start on one end here and kind of wrap it around and make a good crease in the corner. Actually, I may actually fold it because I want that crease to stay where it is. All right, so I've got that. And then we'll wrap it around here again. Just kind of use your nail to guide it in place, and then you can get more precise when you take it out. Make sure it's not wonky. Make sure it's not wonky. Okay. So now we just need a little bit more, and I think this will be the little bit more that we need. So I can use my little guy here for this. That blade on the other one is not quite, I changed my blades out, but still not as sharp as this puppy. So, okay, so what did I say? 3/8, 1 and 3/8. I think I actually did a little bit more on this one because it was hard to gauge on that other cutter. But again, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay. This is a little frazzled here. I guess this one's a little frayed a little bit, so I'm going to make that the bottom. I'm going to make that the bottom. Okay. All right. And then I will just, because I can, I'll just overlap on both ends here. I don't have to necessarily go end to end, you know. I'll just overlap. And this paper lends itself very nicely to kind of collaging and overlapping. I think this will be a very nice look when it's done. Okay. And then one more time here. Find that corner with your nail. Okay. Oh, that was wonky. Get that straightened out. Okie dokie. Now what we need to do is, yeah, it's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. What we need to do is get it to where we can fold it down. And what I found was the best solution was just go ahead and cut where the corners are, just a little slit, just enough to, let me see, I said it was about, I want to go with 1 inch on the side. So I actually ended up doing 1.5 inches. That's okay. So I'm going to cut my slit to right there. And this part on the bottom here is what's going to be folded down. And I'll just make it easier to do that. You know what? No, it's not. Hang on. I think it'll be easier. I've got my mark there now. Before I cut all the other slits, well, all the other, there's only one other one. But I think it'll be easier if I learned this when I did the first one and I forgot about it. Let me line it up there like this. And before I do any more cuts, I'm going to go ahead and fold it. Now I'm folding it in the wrong direction, but at least it's going to give me a nice guide. Okay. So now I can go ahead and fold it back this way and this way. All right. Make a nice crease. And then on this little guy, now I can make that slit, and I won't be hindered as much. So I hope this makes sense. So now we can lay this down like this. And we've got, you know, a nice little platform here. So what I want to make sure is that it's not sticking up over again. I want to make sure that it's just slightly shorter, and that's perfect. Except this area is not slightly shorter. Why is that? It's, I don't know if I didn't fold it straight or if it didn't cut straight. I'm going to try to fold it a little bit more. A little bit. Well, move that fold just a little bit. Rather than try to trim the top. Because it's really, I mean, either way would have worked. Okay, that's good. All right, so cool. Cool beans. Now, I'm going to just kind of do it one section at a time. And I do want to, you know, glue all of it on the inside here. I don't want to keep, there's not going to be anything else holding it on, obviously. Sometimes I feel like I over-explain. Sometimes I want people like, well, duh. But, you know, I don't want to assume that people know stuff that I'm thinking, because there's a lot of things that when I first learned, people were talking like, I didn't know what they're talking about. I didn't know. If you're new to this, then some things don't just, you know, make sense right away. You have to explain a little bit. So I would rather over-explain than under-explain and have somebody be confused, because I know the feeling. I know how frustrating that can be. So I'm sorry if I over-explain things sometimes. Confession time. Sometimes I over-explain things. Okay, so this part gets a little bit more tricky. I think it works best if you just kind of actually do it on the box itself now at this point, for the back at least. And then, well, this one kind of wants to sit like that. So let me do it on this, and then we'll do the flaps a little bit later. Okay. All right, so now I'll do the flaps. The flaps kind of situated themselves before I had a chance to do much about it, but that's okay. This works too. This one wants to be on the bottom. I was going to have it do the opposite, but that's okay. This little guy can be on the bottom if he wants. And then that guy can sit on top. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with this. All right. See? Isn't that nice? And with this kind of paper, you can't really tell where it's been patched up. I think that works nicely. All right, so the next thing is the bottom, and this we do need to measure. Sorry, we need to measure. So I'm going to do it a little bit less, because I don't want it tight. I want it to be nice and loose. And since we have, we've got some playroom here because we have that border. So I'm going to say 3 by 4, I don't know. A little over 3 and a little over 4 1/4. Let's see, how does it fit? It's a little, a little tight on this end. So let me shave just a little bit off. Let's see. I want it to basically just kind of like fall in without any restrictions. I think I'll do just a little bit here. And a little bit more here. Like a hair. Literally just a hair. And then, haha, that's it. That's it. Okay, perfect. So then I will glue this down. And for this one, I like to use the Fabri-Tac because I know it's not going to make the paper wrinkly and wet since it's not a water-based glue. It doesn't kind of wrinkle and warp like art glitter glue does. Every glue has its own little duty, I think. I like having a variety. All right. There we go. Isn't that lovely? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay. So that is how we do that. Now, to cover up the corners, let me just show you what I did here. And again, I kind of just made it up as I went. Let me see. Will this be enough? Let me trim off the white. This might be a good scrap to use. Doesn't have to be, too exact either. All right, so that is actually a little bit too wide. Okay, so let me see. I think about 1 inch should do the trick. This will be tough. The smaller the paper, the harder it is to get it lined up here, but that's okay. Let's do the best we can here. Okay. So I think that'll be, just a little bit shy, which is good. Okay. Now let me see. I don't remember how much I did here. I think I did 1 inch. Okay. So I'm going to do 2 inches. Cut 4 pieces at 2 inches and then fold it in half. And then that will give me the 1 inch little patch there on each corner. All right, so now I've got 4, 1 for each corner. I'm going to fold them in half and ink them before I glue them on. Okay, so now it's just a matter of, whoops, my Fabri-Tac is leaking. Let's get that covered back up. Okay. So now it's just a matter of putting these cute little patches on. This one, the orange, is showing quite a bit. I might try to camouflage that. And it's glossy, so it doesn't want to. Let me see. I use no. Let's try just with a marker here, turning it something other than orange, because that is not not the color I want to show. I'm just going to use a gold metallic marker here just to kind of cover up. That's just white. That's actually okay. And that's not showing at all. So, okay, I think that'll do it. That'll camouflage it enough. So, yeah. And I don't know. I think it's cute. It's like a little, makes me think of like a little elbow patch on a blazer, you know, those old vintage blazers. I think it's like a little elbow patch for my little ephemera box. Isn't that cute? I like it. I rather like it. So that's the gist of it. So now it's just a matter for me of making more of these, like a ton more, and then covering. Ooh, wow, that dried fast. Oh my goodness. That dried too fast. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, so now it's just a matter of making more of these and covering the big boxes. And the method that I used to do these little guys, I figured I would do the little ones first of all because it's easier to see, because they're little and not so huge and take up all the camera space. But it's basically the same concept. You know, I think I am going to leave the bottoms of those larger boxes, just leave that craft paper because I like the way that looks. But I will cover the insides and the lips and the dips and all that stuff. I'm going to cover that. I may or may not cover the bottoms. I don't know. I may leave that craft too. It may just be a matter of covering the sides, the insides and the outsides of the sides, if that makes sense. So I may or may not do that on camera. Maybe if I run into any hiccups or I find that I may have a trick or a tip for you to help you on your journey, I'll turn the camera back on and maybe share that with you. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go yet, but it's basically the same concept as what we just did here in miniature. So I will kind of leave it at that for now. And I'm going to go ahead and let me see. I've got my little butterflies and bugs, yellow butterflies and bugs. And then let me make this one the floral one. All the pretty yellow flowers. Yes. And there I've got 2 done, 2 out of many. And let me just, while I'm thinking about it, let me hold on. I just want to reconfirm here how many of these I can fit in this size. I think I can do 3 up. So if I'm not in frame again. No. Okay, so I can do, let's see if this one stays here and I've got one there. Oh, yes, I can slide. I can put 3 in here like this. So I've got 3 up and 3 across. That's what I was hoping for. Yes, that gives me a little bit of wiggle room, but that's perfect. Yay, so I'm going to be able to fit 9 of these little guys in one of these. And I'm going to have, by the time it's all said and done, 1, 2, and then another one of these contraptions sitting on top of that. So that's going to be a lot. I'll probably need to make more as I have more colors, but that'll take care of, depending on how many of these guys I want, like one for bugs, one for flowers, one for people, one for ephemera. I was thinking 4 for each color, but maybe I'll do, I don't know. See, and that's the fun part. And you'll get to play around with how you want to divide things out too. So I'll see. I'm guessing I'll have at least 2 colors in each tray. So that'll be 4 colors per contraption. So by the time I do 2 of these, I'll have 4, 8, 16. 16. No, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay, that's cool. I was going to say, that's not possible. Did I mention I'm not good with numbers? So this double stacked will give me 8 colors, at least, unless I decide to do more than 2 colors per each tray. We'll see. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty exciting. Okay. All right. So I am going to take probably the next couple of days and make another setup like this. And then cover the papers. I'm going to cover the sides. I'm going to cover this and glue that in, and just have the sides be pretty, and probably leave the bottoms craft. So I'm going to do the outsides and the insides in pretty colors, so that when we stack them, and I'm going to do alternating colors, so that when we stack them, I've got coordinating papers stacked on top of each other. I think that will be lovely. So next time you see me, I'm going to be quite a bit further along on this video, but for you, the time is just going to be just like that. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to pop back in here to tell you guys, warn you about something that I discovered and really frustrated about it. But, well, let me show you. So far, I completed 2 more of these little boxes. I did cover the outside of the main bottom box and the inside, and I covered the little shelf sides. I was all excited because I was trucking along. I covered the shelf that's going to sit in there, just the sides. I'm leaving the bottoms, just the craft paper. I'm fine with that. And I'm not sure. I haven't decided if I want to cover the back of that or not. But here's my faux pas. I didn't take into account when I cut this smaller, I didn't take into account that the thickness of the paper I'm wrapping around is going to add. I can't believe I didn't think about that, but I didn't. So now it won't fit. It's too tight. It was already pretty tight, and now it's too big. So much to my frustration, I'm going to have to deconstruct this again. I'm not going to completely deconstruct it. It'll probably ruin all the paper that I put on it. But I'm going to find those two edges that I had cut. I think this is one of them. And this is probably the other, or maybe this one. Yeah, these 2. So I'm just going to cut them apart again, and then just make a bigger notch so that I can fold it up on these 2 sides and just make the whole thing smaller. But I want to be careful because I don't want to make it too small, because I need it to fit on this lip. But now I know. So I'm warning you. Take into account that it will thicken back up again once you wrap paper around it. And I also decided that I wanted to use the 28-pound paper instead of just regular copy paper. So I don't know if regular copy paper would have been thin enough where it would have worked still. I have a feeling not, because it was already tight as it was, just without any paper covering over it. So live and learn. So I just want to pop in here and say that before you make that mistake. Make the shelf or the tray that's sitting inside, make that a little smaller than you would think. because by the time you cover it with paper, especially if it's thicker paper, it will add that thickness and it will make a big difference. So I'm going to work on reconstructing this now, and I'll pop back in later. All right, popping in again just to show you the process of what I ended up doing. I made this smaller. It now fits nicely, and I actually had enough room to add little let me see, little handles on each side, so I can pick that up nicely. It's not as neat as I'd hoped because I had to reconstruct it after I had already deconstructed it. So, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Once I have all my little, my little boxes lined up, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's just the perfectionist in me is like, oh, but anyway, it'll work. It'll work nice. So that's done. Now I want to show you the next step that I had started working on. And that is, if you remember, the next level. Actually, these are going to have to be tucked in there. Okay. And so I also realized, because of this, the paper making things that much thicker, I didn't want to wrap it all the way around because it's already snug enough. It works just like really great right now. So if I wrap the paper around it, I'm afraid it'll be too tight again, and I'll lose that real estate. So what I did, I need to finish it now. I started with two sides here. I'm wrapping around the top to give a nice lip, and I'll be doing a strip right there to cover that. But what I decided to do for this is not wrap around. Just like I said, so it doesn't give it that much more thickness, but I'm afraid, and it's already started, the paper is, going to peel off a little bit with a little bit of use. So I'm going to use washi tape and just kind of close it in like that. And I haven't decided if this bothers me enough to cover it. I think it kind of does. I think it does bother me. But I don't want to add that extra thickness. So I'm going to leave it. If nothing else, I may paint it. I don't know. I think I'll just leave it and get it over. I'll have to get over it. I mean, how many times am I going to have it laying like this? Probably not many. So I'm going to continue covering the other two sides, and then I'll have some washi tape because it's so thin. Have that kind of wrap around the edge, so it makes a nice clean edge like this, but without adding the thickness of the actual paper. So that's my next step, folks. Stay tuned. All right, popping in again to give you little words of wisdom for the lid. I finished the lid. The lid was already pretty tight because of the paper I had wrapped around the underside. So I decided to do the same thing, and just, instead of wrapping more paper around, making it thicker, I just did matching washi tape all along the edges, and then did the paper just on top. And I decided to Mod Podge it on because it was so close to the edge. I didn't want any edges coming up. This was, this being the lid, and it just needs to be really durable. This tape, I guess it wouldn't have been a problem if this tape had been wider, but the tape came just to like right here. So I didn't have much playroom I needed the paper to come right to the edge. So there are a few little wrinkles that happened, and I'm not sure how because I was really careful, but it's not too bad. Not bad at all. It's a little shiny now because of the Mod Podge, but I'm pretty happy with it. So that was the one tip, and I did what am I trying to say? I strengthened the washi glue with I just used stick glue, and I think that'll, well, maybe not. I may go along the edges and do art glitter glue because some of it's lifting up, some of it's not, and some of it is. So I'm going to fine tune a few things, and then I'll be back with the whole shebang. Okay. Okay, you guys, it's done. I'm going to do a quick little flip through of it. You saw the at the very beginning a better flip through, but I'm just going to kind of give you the little tips and tricks here. So as I said, the lid was pretty tight, so I didn't add any more layers of paper to that. I just left it at that, decorated the edge with washi tape. I actually contemplated about leaving it just craft because it looked pretty too, but I thought, I've done this much. Let me go all the way. And I highly recommend it that you use some sort of collage paper because, well, honestly, it depends on what box you're using, right? So this box was much, much larger than I had anticipated what I was looking for. I just could not find what I wanted. So I just made do. And basically that's why this has been such a beast because I was making it up as I went and things weren't going as I planned, but that's okay. So again, I'm not going to give you any measurements or anything like that because it really depends on what you use, what you have handy, right? And this, I will say this is worth all the work that was involved. And now I know if I make some other stacks, some other layers, I'll know what to do now and it won't be as horrible. And I'm just thrilled that I'm not going to have to spend $100 or more on organizing, color coordinating my fussy cuts. So I'm super, super, super excited. So here is let me see, again with the hugeness of this product, I added little lace tabs to lift the tray up, and as you can see, it fits 9 of these little Propel boxes perfectly, and I only finished 9. I have not filled up the rest of the box because I don't have that many Propel boxes, and I'm running out of time. This was actually supposed to be my May project, and it is now June 1st. Life got in the way, and just finding the boxes that I needed took much longer than I thought. So I will be slowly but surely creating more boxes like this to fill the other 4 layers. So I've got this one, right? Pull this out, and then another 9 boxes will fit in here. Another 9 boxes will fit in here with actually a little bit more space. Because this is a little bit larger, of course. So there's maybe this much space that's left after I put all the boxes in, which is cool because then I can maybe put longer things in there. I don't know, just random stuff. Okay, so then this is the part that I made the lid, right? The kind of the stackable part. So I can take that off. And then I have another tray that I can fit another 9 boxes in. Lift that puppy out. And then I have another thing for 9 boxes. So I'm going to be able to get a lot of colors in. I may or may not make another layer at some point, I know how to now. But the another thing I was thinking, because I got 3 boxes, all the same size, and I used 2 of the lids for these inner trays, and then the 3rd lid I'm using for the actual lid, right? But I only used 2. Hang on. Okay, I only used 2 of the larger size, right? This one, and then this one that I turned into the stackable lid. So I have this 3rd one, and it's because I am who I am. I feel like I don't want to just leave it some random box like this. So I'm thinking what I might do at some point, and I'm not going to do it now because, like I said, I need to finish this project. But what I might do, I don't have another lid. I'd have to buy another box, and I'm going to be in the same position where there's odd man out. So what I might do with this one is turn this one into another lid, extend it so I can slide it on top. And then just leave it deep like this instead of doing, a stackable tray inside. Just leave it as is. And then I'll get maybe some other boxes, smaller boxes that are just deeper. Just leave everything deeper. And, we'll see. Maybe I'll use that or just make bigger boxes, longer. I don't know. We'll see. But I kind of want to use this in the same project as well. But now that I know how to do that, that can wait. And I'm going to have plenty to do getting the little propel boxes, first of all, purchased and have all that, drink all that propel. And I just plan on using the different papers from the, hang on 1 second, let me grab the different papers from the Breath of Spring kit. I use this as the liner in the one thing, but I think I might do like a whole bunch of boxes like that. And I had planned on using the pretty purple paper as well. So there are a lot of beautiful floral papers in this kit that will lend themselves very nicely to decorating or outfitting all of these trays. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 trays right now. That's going to be plenty for now. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. This hopefully is much less painful to you than it was for me, because literally weeks have gone by. I haven't been able to just knock this one out. I was busy with life, and then I was out of town, and then more life, and then just having the time to finish it. And then, like I said, pretty much making it up as I went. So I was learning from my mistakes. Having to redo the one tray really set me back. But I learned the second one. Yeah, this is the tray I used that pink paper on. So pretty. This one looks better. If you look at the other one closely, it's a little bit wonky, but for the purposes that I'm going to be using it for, it doesn't matter. And these cute little lace tabs just fold in. I don't know if did I show you that? See, I've forgotten what I've filmed and what I haven't. Ay. Time flies when you're having fun. Let me just show you the bottom of this in case I didn't. So I just took lace, this crocheted lace, and folded it in half and just ran it. I didn't run it all the way across because that'd be a waste, but I ran it far enough where it would be, to about here. So it's good and sturdy. I can pull and tug on it. And of course I glued it. And then I covered that with paper. I didn't have to, but I felt like I wanted to, and I had already printed out so many pages of this, so I was like, okay, I'll use it up. So that one sits there. I'll have all the little boxes, and this one sits on top, and then this one sits here. I am so excited about this, you guys. I can't tell you. It's going to look so pretty sitting on my shelf. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. This is awesome. Whew, it was a monster, though. I'm not going to lie. It was a monster. So anyway, thank you for joining me on this. Probably my greatest adventure yet. And don't forget the Breath of Spring kit is on sale through the end of June. So I'll have the link for all that below, so you can grab this kit if you'd like. Like I said, I would definitely recommend using collage paper if you end up with a box that's bigger than regular size paper, because you're going to have to kind of patch things together. And if you're already using a collage paper, it's not as obvious where the paper ends and where it doesn't, and you have a little bit more playroom there. So that would be one of my recommendations. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.